interpretation with Dreamer Frog, and we have some cards here, and we're going to talk about a dream today. Fortunately, myself don't have a dream, but we're going to have a look at a interesting dream that I recently received. So we're going to show you what that dream is all about right here. So I have permission to share this dream. Oh, maybe not that dream there. Oh yeah, no, we got it right here. So their son has this green man in their dream, and so we're gonna sort of talk about how it's scary, how it's teleporting, and like what were my thoughts on like what a person who changes shifters to like eyes and all kinds of things. But I have one thing I want to show you. So I drew this on the call, and this is like my interpretation of that dream that we were talking about with them. I thought green is sort of like a color of an enlightenment, but also can be referred to like technology and growth. I think that's related to what they were seeing in the dream. And it's got like this ability to track them, and it's been consistent for a long time, like to different houses. Like it is kind of a scary thing, right? It's like someone's almost stalking you in a dream, which is typically like not your normal dream, right? It definitely stands out as like, oh, there's something going on here. Maybe even something a little bit more beyond just a dream. So I'm just going to draw a few things, but we're in the office right now, and I showed them the office. It's pretty cool. And of course, we're part of the Most High, so we record our dreams daily. And I'm going to sort of share my sort of insight into what I think you can sort of learn from this experience and myself. So, let's say you have a home, and there's these and you're going to sleep, and you're going into like a subconscious space, right? And so you're communicating from an outer world, so this field, and then you're also communicating, let's say this is your heart, inside yourself. And it can be like a cycle, right? Where you're communicating with an exterior world, and then you're communicating with an internal world. So you might have symbols of a being, right? They might have like, they're scary. It's almost like, it reminds me of like children have this the monster under the bed fear, and that might also like happen in a dream, right? So it's very common for young children to have these sort of like boogeyman type beings, because let's say the child is in the bed there's like this subconscious type fear that maybe there's like a snake around, maybe there's a rabbit, maybe there is a creature that might get them at night, which what it might have been true like 200, 300, maybe, uh, you know, thousands of years, right? It's only until recently where we're no longer in an animal world, right? So we still have this sort of like primal type fear based thing right around like the age of 7 all the way to age 0 all the way to 12, right? Probably when you go past 12, other things start to happen in the body that completely reverses that whole rule. So it's more of like a protection mechanism that you can't really, like, you can't change the biology of the human to say, oh, you don't be afraid of the dream, right? You could tell stories, which is probably the most effective. Let's say I tell a story about a man with a mask, right? And that man has many faces. And so, in one face, it's scared. The other face, he is happy. In another face, he's angry, right? So stories are going to be a great way to combat a fear of a child, because those were the things that were used to soothe a child's fear. And it depends on how you deliver the story, and it depends on how you use the story, right? The timing, like there used to be stories for different types of the season, right? So let's say this is the season: winter, summer, fall, and spring, right? And you have different stories for different seasons. And so sometimes you're gonna have like different dreams and things, and you're gonna need different types of stories to deal with these more meaningful problems of fear, doubt, a lack of willpower, oversensitive to. There's all these different like stories that could be related to a problem or pain point, right? Okay, so I think like that is what I think is worth talking about for dreams like that. I thought that was kind of interesting to sort of like look at this case here. There's so much more. I mean, like, we're talking about telepathic communication, telepathy, because like, remember, some of these beings don't talk. Your dreams sometimes have characters that they just don't talk, and those are the ones that you really want to pay attention to, because they're always going to be a higher form of intelligence, like God, like devil, or reptiles, frogs, lizards, animals. Like there's a ton of spiritual beings who don't actually communicate language the way that we do. And so it's sort of like a false dichotomy that you can even like describe what they look like properly. That's kind of why I drew this. This is probably nowhere near what the actual dream was, but it's really fascinating to even get even just like a glimpse of maybe some kind of like interpretation of somebody else's experience, and that can inform everyone else a different version of that experience, which is really fascinating. So that's the end of the video. I just want to pull out a card. There's just one card that just really stands out to me. I think it's like a Tinkerer card. This card is keep showing up for me, but I really think that, like, look at these two images. Like these two, oh, I don't think you can see it very well. I'll just look at these two images. These are very similar, right? So like, I feel like UFO because it feels very intelligent and very it just feels very foreign to me. That dream just feels out of world to me hearing about it. So anyway, have a good rest of your day. Bye.